Grumpy. You haven't seen anyone on camera for ages. She's so fluffy at the moment. You fluffy girl. Cross girl. Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. How are you all? Wasn't it lovely to see Minnie's little face at the beginning of the video? She's so fluffy at the moment because it's so cold still. I mean, today it's a little bit warmer. We still haven't taken her for her cut, so normally we've like got her booked in for the beginning of April for her cut, but I feel like she needs another month or so and she's just still so fluffy. As I mentioned earlier this month when I did my haul for March earlier this month, we had really bad weather here at the beginning of March, which really pushed back some of the posts I was expecting. So I knew there would be 2 hauls this month. I hope that's okay. And I've just got 9 books here that I need to show you that didn't arrive sort of on time, or just like there was quite a delay with posts and stuff. So I'm just going to go through these 9 books that I've got here and just show you what I've got. All very exciting and all from publishers, so looking forward to showing you these. So let's just get going with it. The first one I've got is Clean by Juno Dawson. This is a really shiny front cover. Look at that. Juno Dawson is the author of Gender Games, which is a non-fiction book about gender told from the perspective of a woman who was born a man. So which I found amazing. Really loved it. One of my favourite books last year, and I've actually listened to the audiobook of it this year already. I've only ever read one of Juno's fiction books before, and that was Hollow Pike, which was YA. Sort of, it was very like The Craft, which I really enjoyed. But this one is called Clean, and it is about, I will read you the, I don't know if I've got the blurb on it actually. So it says here, when socialite Lexi Volkov almost overdoses, she thinks she's hit rock bottom. She's wrong. Rock bottom is when she's forced into an exclusive rehab facility. From there, the only way up is for Lexi. The only way is up for Lexi and her fellow inmates, including the mysterious Brady. As she faces her demons, Lexi realises love is the most powerful drug of all. It's a dirty business getting clean. So this is a YA book for ages 14+, but I just thought I would enjoy reading a bit more of Juno's fiction. The next one is it's a graphic novel which has recently been made into a Netflix series that I haven't watched, but David has seen the first episode of, and that's The End of the Fucking World, which is now as I said, a Netflix series. This is written by Charles Forsman, and yeah, the illustrations, it's all in black and white. I believe it's about love. It's about James and Alyssa, 2 teenagers facing the fear of coming to adulthood, and I think, are they in love with each other? I'm not sure. Oh, at 16 I pretended to fall in love with Alyssa, it says. I haven't seen The End of the Fucking World on Netflix, but if any of you guys have, I'd be very interested to hear what you thought. But yeah, it was nice. And you don't ever see like little tiny graphic novels like this, so I feel like this really must pack a punch to be as short as it is and to still have a whole TV series made out of it. So yes, that is the next one I've got. Then this is the winner of most beautiful book of the month that's been sent to me. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is The Gloaming by Kirsty Logan. I mean, look at it. It's a naked hardback with all this sort of beautiful silvery, just foil, absolutely gorgeous, which makes up the hair of 2 mermaids who are swimming here. Oh my god, it's amazing. Kirsty Logan wrote The Gracekeepers, which is a book that I've read before and really enjoyed, and also A Portable Shelter, which is a short story collection, which is also absolutely gorgeous. This is told about, I believe it's about a mermaid called Mara, maybe. Let me read you the, oh god, and the end papers are just lovely as well. Like, honestly, it can't get any more gorgeous. It is just wonderful. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So it says here, Mara's Island is one of stories and magic, but every story ends in the same way. She will finish her days on the cliff, turned to stone and gazing out at the horizon like all the islanders before her. Mara's parents, a boxer and a ballerina, chose this enchanted place as a refuge from the turbulence of their previous lives. They wanted to bring up their children somewhere special and safe, but the island and the sea don't care what people want, and when they claim a prize for her family, Mara's world unravels. It takes the arrival of Pearl, a mysterious and irresistible, to light a spark in Mara again and allow her to consider a different story for herself. It says, the Gloaming is a gorgeous tale of love and grief and the gap between fairy tales and real life. Oh, doesn't that just sound absolutely wonderful? Oh, and I've just seen here, it says part 1.5. So that's interesting. So yeah, very much looking forward to getting this. I think I'm going to read this in April. I feel like this would be a perfect sort of spring read. Absolutely gorgeous. The next one is one that I'm super excited about. I saw this. This is another graphic novel, and Simon had been sent this, and Simon put the publishers in touch with me and sent it to me because it's just the perfect book for I. It is called Brazen, Rebel Ladies Who Rocked the World by Penelope Bagieu. And it is a, oh my god, the artwork in this is amazing. So it's got all this artwork throughout about, oh, pop that over there, about different women. So here, for instance, Christine Jorgensen, Reluctant Celebrity, and then some graphic novel type story bits, and then each story finishes with one of these big pieces of art, and it looks like, just from flicking through it, it's got, I don't know if it's the same illustrator throughout, so here's another one. But yeah, I mean, I love these. There's so many of these out on the market at the moment. I'm just so thrilled that women are at the forefront of these sort of books of like 100 amazing women and things like that, and I've read quite a lot this year, and I was picking them up throughout February and stuff, so it's a shame I didn't have this for February, but oh god, absolutely gorgeous. A lot of the people that have been mentioned in here, Margaret Hamilton, terrifying actress, Annette Kellerman, mermaid, Georgina Reed, lighthouse keeper, Woo's Eaton, Empress. There's lots and lots of women in here, so yeah, looking forward to really get into this and sort of dipping in and out of it. It's just gorgeous. Oh, just another piece of artwork for you, just to keep you going. But that's absolutely wonderful. The next two, I was contacted by a publisher that I hadn't heard of before, I think, called the History Press. And they asked me if they could send me 2 books. The first one being A History of Women in 100 Objects by Maggie Andrews and Janice Lomas. This is like a nice big book with French flaps. I really like the end papers are a blanket that's got all lots of different vagina prints on it, which I really think is cool. Yeah, it goes through out 100. So the first one is The Bones of Lucy, who is seen as the grandmother of humanity. The Women's Aid slogan. They've got their the sewing machine, and just talks through historical items that have been in women's history, which I just find really fascinating. And there's as I mentioned before when talking about Brazen, there's a lot of books like this out this year because of suffrage and things like that. So very much looking forward to reading that, and I think it's a really great idea. And then also they asked me if I'd be interested in this, which I am interested in, but also I feel like this is mainly for David. He's going to be really excited. So this is A 1990s Childhood from Bum Bags to Tamagotchis by Michael Johnson. And here is a group of children dressed in the uniform of the 1990s, nice pair of popper trousers, which I loved. And actually at the weekend I saw someone on TV wearing popper trousers, so I know they're back in fashion. And it goes from, it covers all sorts, so like fashion, music, TV shows, movies, toys and games, technology, births, marriages and death, and world events. So yeah, it feels exciting to do that. Let's have a look at, let's just flick to anywhere. So TV shows, Stars in Their Eyes. Who remembers Stars in Their Eyes? It was a talent show where, they might even have it in other places over, but it was a talent show where people came on and said, oh, I can sing like this person, and they dressed them up to look like that person, and then they sung, and then the winner was at the end. That was a perfect Saturday night viewing. What about movies? Titanic. Oh god, I remember Titanic. And I also remember the theme tune to Titanic by Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, was like what they played at the end of every single school disco I went to, so everyone would have a little dance at the end. Every night in my dreams. Oh, so sad, wasn't it? So yeah, this will be super fun, and I'm sure there's loads of stuff in there about the Spice Girls as well. So yeah, this is something that I'm going to be reading, but I know David will be very excited about that. The next two are from Pam Macmillan. The first one is Look What You Made Me Do, a memoir by Helen Walmsley Johnson. What really, I mean, this is, look, it looks gorgeous. What really got me interested in this is that the opening blurb paragraph talks about The Archers, which is a radio show that runs on Radio 4 that I've been listening to for just over a year now. I started listening to it last January when I went up to visit Simon and Chris, because they listened to it, and I started listening to it. And just before I started listening to it, the end of a storyline which involved a woman called Helen, who was abused, mentally abused by her husband Rob, and it says here, not the kind of abuse that leaves a bruise, but the sort of coercive control that breaks your spirit and makes it almost impossible to walk away. As she listened to the unfolding story, Helen Walmsley Johnson was forced to confront her own agonising past. So off the back of that, she confronted her past and has written this book, and I just thought that that I'd heard a lot, and they sort of, in the Archers, they've referenced back to that period a few times, and that's what caught my attention. And I actually read the introduction, or the prologue, sorry, the prologue and like the first chapter on how she meets Rob, and I just thought, oh God, like this could happen to anyone. Like she was always considered herself a strong woman and things like this, and then she met someone who was just able to sort of coerce her into doing things that she didn't want to do and things, and I just thought it was a really great idea for a book, and just that's how I read it. So yeah, really, really powerful stuff, and looking forward to picking this back up and finishing it. So very good. And then also I've been sent the proof, which is out on the 14th of June. This is a really good proof. It is called The Other Woman by Sandy Jones, and it's done like a wedding video. So it says on the front, together with their families, Adam Banks and Emily Havistock request the pleasure of your company at their wedding, 8th of June 2018, which is when it's out, at the Royal Tunbridge Hotel in Tunbridge Wells, which is a place that Dave and I are very fond of. And then across the front it says cancelled. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It's got a wedding dress on the front cover, and it says here, when Emily meets Adam, she knows he's the one, that together they can deal with anything that's thrown at them, but lurking in the shadows is another woman, Pammy. Emily chose Adam, but she didn't choose his mother. There's nothing a mother wouldn't do for her son, and now Emily is about to find out just how far Pammy will go to get what she wants. A few years ago in book club, we read by Philippa Gregory, I think it's called The Little House, which is a story about a marriage and the and a mother, the mother of the and the mother-in-law. So it's told from the woman's perspective, and she's married to a chap, and from his mother, so her mother-in-law is extremely controlling and really wants things to be her way and things like that. And I remember reading that in book club, and there was just so much to talk about. We really had a really good chat at book club, and I feel like a lot of people have got stories. There are a lot of people are mothers or have mother-in-laws or have or know of controlling like control. I hope this is like I hope I enjoy this as much as I enjoyed The Little House. So yeah, looking forward to that. So those are the books that I've got in the second half of March. I can't believe it's finally being brighter and being like spring. I will get them now. So here they are. Let me know if you guys have read any of these, or you're planning on reading any of these, or if you've read anything by these authors before. I'm very interested to read all of them. And I've been enjoying crime novels recently, so I feel like maybe I might start with The Other Woman and see how I get on. And yeah, so that's it from me, and I will see you all again soon for another BookTube video.